Hello. So today we have with us Mr. Arnab Mandal from Tata Trust. Welcome to Bharat Tex 2026, sir. So first of all, I would like to ask you about your experience at the event thus far, and what more are you looking forward to taking away from the event?
I think I must congratulate the Ministry of Textile for organizing this, and it's not just people from government, but a lot of people from private sector, a lot of people from philanthropy, a lot of people from crafts institutes, and different type of actors in the ecosystem have come here, which is fantastic. And unfortunately I could not attend the previous editions of Bharat Tex, so this edition is really superb. So I was part of a panel. I also been to exhibition halls. The great part of this whole thing is that I think different type of actor, different type of thematic areas, and also how do you sort of not see this as an economic opportunity, but also you talk about sustainability, you talk about circularity. So I think this is like a complete package. Yeah.
Lovely, sir, lovely. So, also, I would like to ask you about your organization, Tata Trust, and how it contributes to the ecosystem of the textile industry in India. How it helps the artisans across the country, and what are the big impact programs thus far of the organization?
Tata Trust is India's biggest philanthropy, and then we have multiple programs. So, one of the programs is focused on handloom, and we have been running this program for around 9 years now. It's called Antaran. In Hall 1A, stall number 37C, we have an Antaran pavilion. And if you look at the focus of the program, so the program was essentially in the phase one, it was operational in 6 clusters, 2 in Nagaland, 2 in Assam, 1 in Odisha, and 1 in Andhra Pradesh. And in the phase two, we have expanded this to around 10 clusters now. We have added Rajasthan, and we have added 1 cluster in Odisha, 1 cluster in Andhra each. So we have worked with a bunch of artisan entrepreneur and essentially micro entrepreneur, and who engage a bunch of artisan associates. And then in each of the cluster, we have set up integrated design centers, and students and alum of NIFT, NID, etc. They come and train, and sometimes they are stationed there, work with artisans. So essentially, if you look at the whole journey, the artisans, they were on the center. And then we worked on market connect, B2B sales, etc. We did a lot of handholding. We also worked with a company called Kosha for IoT. So essentially, each of the handloom product has this level, right? So there's a lot of innovation that went into the program. So if you look at the whole crux of this, I think the livelihood of artisans was the focus, but we also touched upon different other aspects which has some connection with handloom as a sector. And then if you look at the overall textile industry, handloom is a big piece, and we want to essentially increase the handloom penetration in the country and also abroad.
Thank you, sir. So, focusing on this particular program called Antaran, so could you let us know that how does Antaran help the traditional artisans, the weavers and artisans, preserve their craft while meeting the demands of today's national and international markets?
No, that's a brilliant question. I think so. What we have done is we have worked with students of NIFT and NID, and then there's a lot of design training. Okay, so through different type of digital media, through handhold training that has happened onto the premises. So the core team of Antaran, they had their own set of people who got experts, and then whatever will work on the market, there was orientation that were given to different artisans and artisan entrepreneurs. And based on that, the bouquet of design actually increased a lot, substantially. And then we also looked at different type of channel, digital channel and non-digital channel. And in non-digital channel, we also looked at what are the taste and preferences for people in big cities as well as abroad, for example, in Paris and Tokyo. And within digital channel, we tried with a lot of different stuff, including ONDC, for example. And hopefully, we have a sense that what essentially people want and where there is a demand. And my sense is that going forward, that understanding will improve further, which will essentially help the artisans to increase their own revenue.
Lovely. Thank you so much, sir. Just as the last and the final question, I would like to ask that how do you see the future of sustainable fashion in the Indian domain?
See, sustainable fashion as a theme is coming up in a big way, and it's not just commercial player, but also if you look at Lakme India Fashion Week, etc. So a lot of different platforms, different type of stakeholders in the whole ecosystem, they are talking about it. So I think the awareness is growing, but there is a lot more that need to happen on effluent treatment plant, on sustainable fiber, on recycling, on upcycling, etc. And that will not happen overnight. So for that to happen, I think there need to be significant amount of investment, significant amount of orientation that need to happen at different level, at a private sector enterprise level, at artisans level, and also at the consumer level. I think to some extent Europe has been able to do it, but I think in India we need to do a lot more. And especially if you look at carbon credit and things like that, I think there are some connections. So it's just that somebody has to connect the dots, and we'll have to show the bigger picture. So that people can also pay at a premium, and then there are different avenues to pass on some extra income for artisans.
Lovely. Thank you so much for your thoughts, sir. They were really knowledgeable and insightful, and I'm sure it'll help our viewers. Thank you so much for your time, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.